Welcome back and welcome to week 10. Right, that is week 10 done and dusted. Now today's video is going to be split up. I'm going to do a little Q&A session and I'm going to do an update, of course, on how well we've done for week 10. But just before I get into the Q&A, I want to touch on some of the side effects that I've seen. And actually, I would say it's pretty much bang on the same as last week. Nothing has changed. I think the 5 milligrams is sitting quite comfortably with me. I'm not seeing anything different than I had before. There's maybe 1 or 2 days where I am getting a little bit more hungry than the other days, but really it's definitely controllable hunger. I'm able to say, well, no, it's not. I'm not actually hungry. That's just the food noise waking up a little bit. But then it tends to go as well. So weirdly, it seems to be happening at the beginning of the week when I've taken my injection. But I don't know, I can't remember if that was the same last week, but certainly for this week, it seemed to be the first couple of days of when the injection was in that I was feeling that hunger. And I would expect that to be the opposite to what it actually is. I would have thought actually towards the end of the week is where I would be feeling it, but that's just not been the case. It's been the first couple of days. But like I say, totally controllable, fine. Still getting a little bit of the indigestion. That seems to come and go though, and it's not an issue. It's not really affecting me. It's certainly not a problem. Okay, before I get into the results for this week, I thought I'd do that little bit of a Q&A, get some of the questions that I've been asked, some of the more popular questions indeed. I will do another one of these videos down the line to answer some more of the questions as we go.
We get this question a lot. Where do I buy my Mounjaro from?
Okay, a nice easy question to start with. To be fair, I think most of these are fairly straightforward questions. But simply put, I get my Mounjaro from MedExpress. Why did I go to MedExpress? Honestly, it was simply when I decided to go for it and start taking Mounjaro, I did a Google search. They came quite high ranked. They had decent enough reviews for me to give them a try. Placed my order, it was here within a few days, and the 2 orders I've made since that initial one, again, they've all just turned up when I kind of expected them to. If nothing else, the last one that I got actually came a day earlier than I thought it would do. So I've had no problems with them. If you are looking to switch suppliers or you're looking to jump onto Mounjaro and make your first purchase, then I do have a code. I'll put it on the screen somewhere now, but it's also down in the description if you want to get it. By all means, use that code to go and grab yourself a £40 discount off your first order. Just to be transparent, it also means that I also get credited £40 for my next order. So if you don't want me to receive £40 credit, then please just don't use my code.
I only managed to lose £19 in 6 months. How are you able to lose so much?
Great question, and a question I don't really know the answer to, and I don't believe any of us do. It just seems to be that we all lose weight at different speeds, right? So if we go back to even taking Mounjaro out of the equation, and you put a group of us into a room together, all eating the same, doing the same exercise regime, you'll still find that we are all going to lose weight at different rates. I don't know the science behind it. I don't know how that works. And we all lose weight at different rates, but that just seems to be the case. And some people are lucky. I think I might be one of them, where you get that 2.5 milligrams into you and it seems to act quite quickly. Yet some have to wait till they get to the 7.5 and even higher doses than that before they really start to see a difference. But what I would say on a positive scale is go back to life before Mounjaro and say to yourself, right, I want to lose 19 pounds within 6 months, which actually equates to nearly 40 pounds by the end of the year. I'd have took that. I'd be quite happy with that. I wouldn't be down about losing 19 pounds. I'd say good for you. You're doing well. Keep it going.
What did you do to obtain Mounjaro? Was there any criteria that you had to meet?
So in short, yes, there was some criteria that I had to meet. You essentially, you go onto the website of the supplier that you choose. Then when you go on there and you start to go through it, they ask you a lot of questions about your health, about your background, about your current status. So you have to put in your height, your weight and all that stuff, where it comes up with a BMI. And you have to be at the right BMI level. I think currently it's anything over 30 if you're healthy. And if you have medical conditions, then I think it's 28 and up. Again, go to the websites and have a look at that though. Also with MedExpress, and I believe others do this as well, is I had to upload some recent photographs of myself showing my body as well. Now, just purely out of your own interest, I have been speaking to another organisation recently about a potential move to them. I'm not sure that's going to happen. So part of that process with this other organisation is it's doctor-led. You have to actually have a video call with a doctor, and during that video call, you have to show yourself getting on the scales and showing them the weight. So it seems that different organisations do it in slightly different ways. But yeah, you absolutely have to prove that you are who you say you are, and that you are the weight that you suggest that you are also. Is it perfect? I don't think it is. I think we can all see already that other people have cheated the system. So can you cheat the system? I guess. I'm not. I wouldn't want to play that game. This is something that you're injecting into your body. Why would you play with that?
Do you get to dictate when you increase your dose, or is somebody telling you when to move up a step?
In short, no, nobody's telling me when to go up a dose. I'm on my second 5 milligram pen currently. I haven't yet decided what to do after this pen. If I feel the same way that I feel today, then I will stay on it for another round. So no, there's nobody telling me when to move up. I'm trying to stay on a lower dose as possible. And more so that's because when I'm looking at the end game, right, when I get there, I believe in my mind anyway, again, not medical, don't know what I'm talking about, but I do believe for me that when I get there, that it'll be easier to come back down or titrate off the dose, rather than being stuck up on that 15 milligrams. Hey, and I might get to the 15 milligrams, we don't know yet. But no, nobody is telling me when to do it. It is entirely done at my own pace.
How are you finding your fueling during exercise?
So a great question, and actually one that I think I might come back to at a later date, simply because of the runs that I've been doing recently. I think the longest I've run in the last few months is probably, I think last week I did like a 14-kilometer run, which for me is not particularly long. And I know that's kind of relative to each individual, right? But for me, 14 kilometers is okay. So in the morning on that sort of run, I would have like a bowl of porridge or something like this, just to fuel me for the run. And I might at best have a gel partway through that. But those sorts of distances at the slower paces that I'm running them currently, I'm not really needing to fuel for them. However, now that I'm in my Manchester Marathon training block, as I go through that and the runs start to get longer and I have to start getting my stomach ready for the Manchester Marathon, then again, I will find out more about that. So I will come back to this question probably in another month or two.
Oh, this one's my favourite question. Why don't you just control yourself with discipline? Can you not control yourself? Yeah.
Where do we even start with a question like that? No, I can't control myself, which is why I'm seeking the help of Mounjaro. How about you with your little trolling efforts online? Can you not control yourself? Or, oh, sorry, you're in your mum's basement. Gotcha. All jokes aside, just to address that briefly, I put myself on YouTube. I've been on YouTube for just over 2 years. I don't mind being judged because to me it's water off a duck's back. I really don't care about people's opinion of me when it comes to things like this. Otherwise, why would I put it out there? Because if I put these videos out there, I'm gonna get somebody that's gonna say something negative to me. If you're fairly new to the channel, we had one about 18 months ago where I'm out running and the guy saw my head bopping up and down over a hedgerow, and then as I come around the corner, he was with his kids and he told his kids to move out of the way. And then when I got round the corner, he realised I was not on a bike. He thought I was on a bike, which is a fair comment, right? He could just see my head coming towards him. But his comment to me at the time was, oh, sorry, I thought you were on a bike. It must have been all the spare tyres, right? And at the time I got really pissed off that he'd made that comment. I had to sort of hold myself back a bit because he did have his kids with him. I'm not going to be that guy. But it was, you know, later on it's water off a duck's back. It is what it is. But with comments like this, again, they don't bother me. And I hope they don't bother you. I know for some people taking Mounjaro is quite a difficult decision to take, and it was fairly difficult. I mean, it should be fairly difficult, right? Because you want to exhaust all other avenues first, and then you get to this point, you're like, look, I'm at the point where I've tried, I've failed, I've tried again, and I continue to fail. So now I want to use Mounjaro to help me. And why would you not do that? You know, if it's there to help you, then why not use it? You don't need these little comments from these little weasels that are sat in their mum's spare bedroom, making these little comments, thinking that they're being clever and all of this. Mate, I'm sure there's plenty I can do that you're not capable of doing as well. So wind your neck in. If you don't like it, keep on moving. Maybe jump onto another channel where it teaches you how to get a real job so you can move out of your mum's house. What a moron.
Does the price of Mounjaro go up as the dose increases?
So the answer to this one is yeah, kinda. So it seems to be, for me, certainly my experience so far is the 2.5 and the 5 milligrams are the same price. Beyond that, yeah, it seems to go up in increments as you go up in doses. There are websites out there where you can search for the cheapest price. If I'm honest, so far I've just been sticking with MedExpress because it's easy. I can jump on there and just place my next order. But does it go up in price as you go? Yeah, it would appear so.
Set an alarm to remind yourself to eat. How ridiculous.
So this is another one of those, isn't it? You know, set an alarm to remind yourself to eat. This goes back to a video I did recently where I mentioned that the suppression was actually I was feeling a lot of suppression with the Mounjaro, and I was almost forgetting to eat, having to remind myself to eat. And I kind of said off the cuff, perhaps I should set an alarm to remind myself. You know, I haven't actually needed to do that, but if I'm at the stage where the suppression is strong enough where I am forgetting to eat, is it a big problem to set an alarm to remind myself? Is that not only helping me, and it's not affecting you? People are weird, right?
Okay, so you're just joining me out of my long run. I thought I'd use this time to give you the results for week 10. We've had a good week. A much better week than the last two. The house has got back to some sort of normality, obviously after losing the dog, and the diet's been back in check, the exercise has been in check, and we're all going in the right direction. So what has that meant in terms of weight loss? Well, this is the good news. We have bust down that barrier, we have bashed through the 2 stone mark, and we had a 2.5 pound loss this week, taking the total to 28.5 pounds. Boom. Eyes on the prize. Next target not too far away. £30, nice round number. Let's see if we can do that in the next week.
So that sets me up for a new target for the next week. Get over that £30 mark. Ideally £2 will just take me over the edge. So another good solid week will see me at a £30 loss in 11 weeks, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Thanks for watching. Keep it positive. Speak soon.